Be very shocked when you do this, and it will make them regret it for the rest of their lives. Thank you everyone for joining us in this video exploration. It's truly intriguing to delve into the unexpected actions that can catch narcissists off guard. If you find the content engaging, please consider showing your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Now let's focus on a specific action that typically takes narcissists by surprise. But before we dive into that, let's take a moment to reflect on your experiences with narcissists and how they have impacted you. What kind of relationship did you have with them, and how has it shaped your journey? Entering into a relationship with a narcissistic individual often happens without recognizing the telltale signs of narcissism, often due to a lack of awareness or education on the subject. It's common to attribute the challenges in the relationship to simply having a rough patch or to the other person having their own issues, perhaps playing the victim or mistreating you. However, the idea of narcissism might not have crossed your mind at that time. Despite this, you persisted in the relationship, investing your time, energy, and emotions into it. As we've discussed before, your dedication to the relationship led to a gradual depletion of various aspects of your life, including your time, finances, social circle, and even your health. Essentially, you were pouring everything into a relationship that proved unfruitful and draining. Meanwhile, the narcissist was actively sabotaging your efforts, akin to puncturing holes in a canoe while you tried to navigate upstream. Their goal was to ensure your vessel sank while they moved on to the next unsuspecting victim waiting in line. The narcissistic cycle of abuse employs a myriad of manipulative tactics, all aimed at exploiting your kindness and compassion. While you continued to give, the narcissist continued to take, leaving behind a path of devastation. It's crucial to recognize that narcissists operate from a fundamentally different mindset than yours. They lack the capacity for self-reflection and accountability, preferring to feed off others until they're depleted, then discarding them without remorse. It's important to understand that the next target in the narcissist's life often takes the form of a new individual. Just as they sought solace in your companionship when you were their primary source, they will inevitably move on to another unsuspecting victim once they've drained you dry. Whether it's someone from their past, a recycled acquaintance, or a completely new person, the pattern remains consistent: exploit, discard, and move on to the next target. Multiple factors contribute to perpetuating the cycle of narcissistic abuse. It's essential to acknowledge that this cycle persists relentlessly, with the narcissist being the only constant. They're fully aware of the psychological web they weave, understanding the anxiety-ridden existence they create. Employing their chameleon-like abilities, they don different personas to manipulate others, often driven by a need to assert dominance. Living with a narcissist becomes an unpredictable journey, akin to navigating between Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Designed to keep victims on an emotional roller coaster, the nature of the relationship remains ambiguous. So, where does one turn when faced with the silent treatment or verbal abuse from their partner? Many embark on virtual quests, navigating through the vast expanse of the internet, where rare gems of insight shine amidst the deluge of information. This marks a significant juncture, the commencement of a voyage towards self-discovery and a deeper comprehension of narcissism. The narcissist, underestimating the victim's capacity to unveil their facade, never foresaw such scrutiny. Having meticulously sized up their prey at the onset of the relationship, reflecting on initial interactions with the narcissist reveals a meticulously calculated assessment of the victim. Delving into their innermost desires, strengths, and vulnerabilities, the narcissist perceives the victim merely as a means to gratify their insatiable cravings for validation and dominance. skillfully nurturing a symbiotic connection, camouflaging their true motives behind a veil of charm. As the unwitting victim becomes entangled in the narcissist's labyrinth of deceit, their well-being and resources steadily deplete, culminating in abandonment once their utility wanes. A familiar pattern to the narcissist, who seamlessly transitions to a new fount of sustenance, leaving behind a wake of fractured relationships. Reflecting on all that unfolded, the narcissist never foresaw your ability to mend your shattered pieces. Take a moment to revisit this pivotal segment of the video repeatedly. For the narcissist was acutely aware of the harm they inflicted upon you, knowingly subjecting you to abuse, perpetuating it on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or even decadal basis. They comprehended that eventually something would give. Either you would depart from them, or they would discard you. Alternatively, there lingered the option to remain ensnared in the zombie-like clutches of narcissistic manipulation. If you've gone through this ordeal, feel free to pour out your thoughts below. Your sense of self has become entangled with theirs. You feel drained and defeated. Each passing day seems to drain your energy even more. The narcissist never anticipated your resilience, your ability to confront narcissism head-on, to embrace radical acceptance, and to acknowledge your own abundance, beauty, and inner radiance, traits that the narcissist sorely lacks. They ensnared you through deceit, manipulation, and coercion, convincing you of your reliance on them, a consequence of the trauma bond that kept you tethered to them, oscillating between moments of euphoria and desolation like a tumultuous emotional roller coaster. This constant instability prevented you from finding solid ground. Every attempt to reach out to the narcissist via call, text, or email was a gamble, as you never knew who you would encounter, leaving you devoid of stability. The narcissist deliberately disrupted your equilibrium to cement the trauma bond, catching you off guard and making it incredibly challenging to break free. Since narcissism isn't typically taught in educational settings, you were blindsided by the trauma bond, struggling to make sense of why everything seemed to spiral out of control, leaving you feeling hollow, consumed by thoughts of the narcissist day and night. Your responses to their messages were never met with satisfaction. You drop everything to provide detailed explanations of your actions, plans, and intentions, only to receive curt, dismissive replies like "okay" or "K," or sometimes no response at all. Does this sound all too familiar? Share your experiences. Your attempts to satisfy them were met with scorn. You were reduced to an unpaid servant, a constant apologist, a never-ending task list enveloped in the narcissistic haze, or ensnared by the trauma bond. Unaware of your true value, you remained tethered to the narcissist, deliberately kept ignorant of your own worth. They continued to belittle you. Once they had you in their grasp, their interest waned, and they grew tired of you. The initial thrill of the chase faded once they had captured you. You became nothing more than a possession, like a doll on a shelf waiting to be used, manipulated, or exploited for resources. They would disappear for hours, days, or weekends, leaving you to wonder, were they seeking a replacement or tapping into other sources? These alternative sources could be friends, social circles, travel, possessions, or anything else of value. Typically, narcissistic supply comes from romantic partners or friends, but it could also be a family member or sibling. Yet, they didn't anticipate your resilience, your ability to recognize narcissism, understand its impact, and realize the necessity of breaking free. If you've been discarded, my heart goes out to you. Even if you ended the relationship, the weight of toxicity is substantial. You've endured the vicious cycle of narcissistic abuse. You may feel like a lone needle in a haystack, but that needle holds the key to your emancipation. The narcissist never intended for you to break free, to heal, to gain understanding. They thrive on deception, donning masks to ensnare their victims in a mesmerizing trance. But you shattered those chains. You're embarking on a journey of healing, growth, and perhaps even enlightenment for others. You're awakening to your inherent value, placing yourself above the narcissist's web of lies. You've unlocked the shackles, escaped the fog of narcissism, and taken bold strides, implementing no contact, blocking, deleting, severing all ties to their toxic influence. Understand this. Your narcissistic partner never sought closure. They lack the capacity for introspection, accountability, or accepting fault, hindering their ability to provide closure. Believing themselves faultless, they evade responsibility for their actions, driven by their narcissistic mindset. Despite perpetuating an abusive cycle, they remain its unwavering center. Their primary goal is to ensnare individuals in relationships through deceit and manipulation, only to discard them hurtlessly later on. As a result, narcissists often lack enduring friendships or lasting relationships. Their children frequently distance themselves upon realizing they've endured mistreatment. While manipulation is their expertise, their victim facade eventually loses its effectiveness. Nevertheless, survivors find comfort and healing, recognizing that the relationship nearly brought them to ruin. Narcissists consistently falter in relationships, both past and present, as they relentlessly seek new sources of validation, knowing contentment is always out of reach. The narcissist never expected you to heal. They underestimated your resilience to recover after the relationship, especially amid challenges like a pandemic, surgeries, financial strain, and isolation exacerbated by their smear campaigns that dismantle your support system. Their swift disappearance following the discard demonstrates their refusal to reflect or take responsibility. Everyone is welcome to join us today for another captivating segment. Let's dive right in. Today, I want to delve into the narcissist's sinister desire for your downfall. This has been their underlying objective from the start. No matter where you go, narcissists want it to seem like you've brought harm upon yourself intentionally. However, the truth is that the conflict was instigated by the narcissist, although they refuse to acknowledge this until it's too late. It's important to note that covert narcissists shun tasks that involve getting their hands dirty. They prefer to delegate unpleasant tasks to others. Understanding this, the concept of flying monkeys is crucial in grasping covert narcissists' behavior. Yet, their subtle mistreatment is aimed at driving you to the brink of madness. That's why I've created this video, to shed light on how narcissists seek to harm you without direct physical contact. When it comes to deception, narcissists excel at deflecting blame onto others, even in the absence of evidence. Their public image and facade of invincibility are paramount, driving them to operate in the shadows. As a result, narcissistic abuse can go unnoticed for extended periods. This covert warfare is difficult to prove. Victims need access to information and the ability to document conversations to expose inconsistencies or lies. Without intervention, narcissists will continue playing their game, where only their victory matters. To a narcissist, total destruction of another individual signifies triumph. Once the game begins, everyone puts on their best behavior. Toxic narcissists may initially appear helpful, but eventually they change the rules and reveal their true colors. They may subtly encourage you to engage in activities that go against your usual habits, or tempt you to regress into past behaviors you've worked hard to overcome. Narcissists are the type of people who would urge you to drink despite knowing your history of alcoholism. If you've struggled with substance abuse, associating with these individuals would be ill-advised. They would conspire to sabotage your progress and undermine your livelihood. They are threatened by your success and will go to great lengths to impede your advancement. Consequently, narcissists deliberately surround you with people who harbor animosity towards you, ensuring you are frequently exploited and mistreated. The narcissist's ultimate goal is to reduce you to the lowest emotional and mental state possible, as they have come to terms with their own inability to attain your level of perfection. They will stop at nothing to discredit or eliminate you. Trusting a narcissist can be emotionally draining and potentially hazardous. Prolonged exposure to their manipulative tactics can exacerbate negative effects, leading to health issues such as weight gain and mental fatigue. It's no secret what the narcissist's next move will be. They revel in our failures, so they will intensify their pressure. They take pleasure in witnessing our physical decline and delight in our succumbing to vices that tarnish our reputation and alienate us from them. Narcissists behave in this manner because they harbor self-loathing and envy towards your accomplishments. The narcissist could be anyone, from a family member like a parent, spouse, or sibling to friends, employees, or in-laws. This is because narcissists perceive personal relationships and family dynamics differently from the rest of us. They tend to view others as adversaries, especially if someone appears more popular or appealing than them. In such cases, the narcissist will relentlessly target that person, often making it seem as if they orchestrated the conflict alone. They may try to manipulate you into engaging in risky or foolish behavior, and then pretend to express concern about it behind your back. The cruelty of narcissists lies in their ability to manipulate others to ensnare their victims. However, their success in doing so only fuels their satisfaction. Inflicting pain on others brings them joy, and they meticulously plan their actions rather than leaving things to chance. They have likely been plotting against you for some time, with a well-organized strategy to cause you harm and deceive you. They may even meticulously plan your downfall, manipulating perceptions to shift blame onto you for any negative outcomes, even if you're not at fault and have no mental health issues. You made the choice to indulge in drinking or drugs, so the responsibility lies with you. Even when the narcissist appears to offer help, it's you who ultimately made the decision to end your life through suicide. This twisted outcome is exactly what the narcissist desires for all their victims. They aim to paint themselves as heroes who genuinely care about your well-being by causing you harm. But don't let this be the final chapter. Never grant a narcissist the satisfaction of branding you as self-destructive. Break free from their emotional grip by cutting all ties with narcissists. Recognize them for the self-serving individuals they are, and break away from their influence before it's too late. Regrettably, that's all I can cover in today's video. I sincerely hope you found this information enlightening. If you have any thoughts or experiences to share, please do so in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell to be notified of new videos. Wishing you all abundant blessings this week. Have you ever met someone who didn't seem to care about how you felt or your health? They might have shown signs of being very self-centered. It can be hard to deal with people who take advantage of others and use manipulation to get what they want. Don't worry though, you have the power to defend yourself. It's time to take back control and destroy the fake world that narcissists have made. Now let's talk about 10 words that will help you stand up to narcissists and protect your health. Are you ready to take back your power? Let's start our trip. First, let go of the handle. It can be tiring to deal with a narcissist, especially if they won't give up their power in a fight or competition. They have an unquenchable desire to win at all costs and can't give up. It doesn't matter how far behind they are. Narcissists will always try to win and avoid losing. There's no doubt that this habit can make you angry. But remember that it turns into a mental fight. Believe in your own decisions and don't let what they do affect how you react. Show that you have no fear and a firm attitude. In the end, they will give up. Prepare for counterattacks, but find comfort in taking back control and putting your health first. Know that you are standing up for yourself and your mental health when you let go. Say no to a narcissist when they ask you to. For narcissists, saying no is like a knife to their fragile ego. It hurts their sense of being loved and how strong they think they are. They make avoiding the word no their main goal, which makes them use manipulation and control to get what they want. Though it's important to be strong and clear about your limits by saying no when you need to. If a narcissist asks you to do something that could put your safety or well-being at risk, you can say no. If they keep putting pressure on you, put your own health and safety first and leave their company before they hurt you. Don't forget that you can make your own rules and say no to what they want. Accept the idea that taking care of yourself shouldn't be tainted by the fake guilt that their tricks cause. Third place. Say these words. I don't care. Narcissists need attention and will do anything to make themselves feel good about how important and right they are. There's no denying that being close to these kinds of people is tiring. Narcissists, on the other hand, can be stopped in their tracks with the words, I don't care. These 3 words, which may seem easy, cut to the core of a narcissist's pride. Their whole sense of self-worth depends on approval from other people, so saying, I don't care, means they don't want to be recognized for anything. Not letting them exist is the same thing. Some people have a hard time understanding why narcissists need so much praise. They don't really know who they are, so they're always looking for outside validation of their presence. They can't feel like they're truly alive unless other people think they're important. 4. Stop trying to control me. It can be hard to deal with a narcissist's constant need to be in charge. It's important to know, though, that you can set limits and stop them from trying to control you. It may seem scary to stand up for yourself and stop them from controlling you, but it is very important for your health. Keep your cool and take charge of the situation. Make it clear that you don't want to be used as a tool and that you want to be treated with respect. Being aggressive or rude is not necessary when you want to stand up for yourself. You might even earn the narcissist's reluctant respect if you set clear limits in a calm way and let them know about them. Even though they might get angry, it is still better than giving in to what they want. 5. Say, it has nothing to do with you. When the narcissist acts like they think the world swirls around them, it can be hard on your mind and body to deal with their actions. Still, it's important to remember that what they do doesn't define your worth or value. In response to a narcissist's attempts to put you down or make everything about them, say, it's not about you. These words have a lot of power because they tell them that their actions and views don't have a big effect on your life. Take a firm attitude and refuse to let their actions change how you see yourself. Do not forget that their world rotates around them, but yours does not have to. Do not let the actions of a narcissist bring down your self-esteem. Instead, keep your attention on what really matters to you. Number 6. Ask people to take more responsibility and answer for their actions. It's very frustrating when someone won't take responsibility for their deeds, but it's important to remember that you can only change how you act, not how other people act. It can be hard to expect other people to be responsible, but it's important for keeping relationships healthy. If you're working with a narcissist who always avoids taking responsibility, you need to use the right words to bring down their ego. Stand your ground even if the narcissist tries to shift the blame or make you feel bad for holding them responsible. Speaking out about their flaws doesn't make you weak. It shows that you are brave and strong. 7th, you are not good enough. Getting along with a narcissist can be hard because they are always looking for praise and approval. It gets annoying to hear them brag about how much better they are while putting others down. But if you tell an ego you're not enough, it breaks down their act and makes what they say and do meaningless. When you say that, it makes them fall apart. When a narcissist realizes that their inflated ego doesn't match up with their real skills or successes, they feel incredibly devastated. Feeling like a failure, it hits them like a punch in the gut and makes them give up. Narcissists often put up a wall of confidence and superiority to hide their real flaws and insecurities. You may be right that they feel inadequate and low in self-worth, even if they try to ignore your criticism. 8th, let them know that you don't know what they're doing. A lot of the time, narcissists will do anything to avoid facing the truth or admitting their flaws. This makes relationships unhealthy. Even though it might be hard to tell a narcissist they are wrong, being honest and sincere is important for building better, more respectful relationships. You can help your links get better by being brave and telling the truth. So, if a narcissist starts to bother you, just tell them, you don't understand the truth. Still, be ready for the ego-driven reaction that might happen. They might feel uncomfortable or want to get back at you. However, don't let how they respond stop you from seeking the truth and being honest with yourself and others. The 9th one, say out loud, my life is my responsibility. When you're with a narcissist, taking responsibility or accepting fault can be seen as a threat to their power and control. It is important to understand that accountability is not about getting power, but about taking responsibility for your own actions. By accepting this, we can stop letting other people control and trick us and take charge of our own lives and actions. If a narcissist finds out that their partner is taking responsibility for their life and deeds, they might not like it. They might act in a way that is bothersome or try to stay in charge. Still, it's important to stay strong and put your own growth and development first. Narcissists need other people to take their minds off of their own problems and thoughts, but this doesn't make